We're here.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Stars in the House. I'm Seth. This is James, and this is show number something.
60 something. Kind of what will be pretty soon.
I was going to say, Match.com profile. Anyway,
welcome to Stars in the House, twice daily benefit for the Actors Fund. Seth, what is the Actors Fund? I'm going to throw that to you this time.
By the way, Stars in the House at 2 p.m. and 8 p.m. Actors Fund is a misnomer. It's basically they give out money to anyone that is in need in the performing arts. On stage, backstage, in front of the camera, behind the camera. So it's not just for actors, and it's not just for people in New York and LA. It's people all around the country, anyone that works in the arts. So they could be like an usher, a box office person, a dancer, an opera teacher.
Wait, but I was just realized, you were doing behind the scenes, I thought you were about to pretend you were going to sing opera or do a ballet move or something. I'm just saying. Here we go.
It's my only opera and my only ballet is my only classical piano. I can't play it. You can't play classical piano turn to the side.
But wait a minute. Hold on a different note but related. You told me that how many dance classes did you pay for? And tell people about that, because I actually find it's really interesting.
How many dance classes did I pay for?
Played.
Did I play for?
I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, I used to play for a ballet class all the time. That's how it was great. It was because I was on financial aid at Oberlin. So I played for dance class, but I always got in trouble because I was always giving notes to the dancers. I was always like,
you were?
I was always like, you've got to turn out. Yeah. I got in so much trouble.
Nerve.
I'm so controlling.
Oh my. You didn't tell me that.
I forgot that part of the story. Yeah, I totally got called in it, but I was just trying to help. Anyway, that's why I give notes to my fellow actors whenever I do a show. Just trying to help.
And you do it during the show, right before they're going to go on stage.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, the Actors Fund is for anybody in the business, and you go to.
But speaking of, that is a job in the performing arts.
Yeah.
It's not like some high paying job. That's like a job that people around the country have.
Yeah.
People who play for dance classes.
Yeah. And no one is.
There's no way. There are dance classes that are happening on Zoom and so on. But as far as playing piano, I don't know if that's happening. You know what I mean?
It can work, but there are classes at steps. So maybe they may be the only people that are still employed rehearsal pianists for ballet classes.
Right.
So don't go to the Actors Fund if you're a rehearsal pianist for dance classes. You probably have a gig. But if you don't have a gig, if you don't have any money, you need to pay your health insurance, your rent, you go to actorsfund.org. It's really easy. Fill out the application. And then if you have money that you can help, you go to starsinthehouse.com, donate it. And what's amazing is that even, these shows are live right now. When they're not live, people are donating all the time. That's so thrilling to us.
Well, and speaking of, so we got some donations that had come in yesterday, and I'm going to read. There's so many pages of them. We're going to kind of split this up, and I'll read some now and some a little bit later, and then tonight. But I just wanted to give a shout out to some people, because we always say it and we always mean it, that during these times we're shocked that there are see, I'm recycling, that's music. This many people are donating.
Yeah.
It's insane. So we want to give some shout outs to people right here. I haven't looked at this list. Just literally printed it at 2 minutes ago. So we want to thank Aaron from Kentucky, who gave $15 to the Actors Fund.
Aaron, by the way, not Aaron.
What's the difference?
It's the vowels. It drives me crazy that he always says Carrie. I'm like, Carrie or Carrie? There's a difference. So it's Aaron with an E.
You know what, Seth? What's going to happen is
we're going to the names.
No, we're going to be playing a tape from one of those when you're 12-year-old. What is that you always play in your show with that accent, that Long Island accent?
That was very cute when I was 12.
It's not cute now. Okay, Linda from Oregon, $100. Lisa from California, $100. James from Illinois, I love that name, $25. Danielle, that's my sister, North Carolina, $10. Nikki from Connecticut, $25. Rachel from Maryland, $10. Ellen from Florida gave $50 to the Actors Fund. Benjamin from Washington, $25. Savannah from Ontario, $10.
I love that Canadians are donating. It's amazing.
And I love that I sound like a politician, but that most of the donations, I don't know what the average is, but I'm going to guess that the average is probably $35.
Yeah.
There's so many donations that are coming in. And so it's led to a total of $229,700 raised for the Actors Fund just on Stars in the House. It's pretty incredible.
Yeah, so everyone that watches and donates, it's really amazing. So thank you. And by the way, we'll take matching donations. A couple of times we've had matching donations where people say, if this show raises $5,000, I'll match it. So we do appreciate that.
So I think we have some videos, but I don't know if they're uploaded yet. Oh yeah, thanks, Seth. So this is a letter because we left yesterday, to an iconic show and an iconic legend of theater. So we had the original Broadway cast, most of them from Les Mis. And then in the evening we had...
I'm playing Sideways. That is amazing piano playing. I'm literally twisted like that. I need a shout out for my
I didn't even have the nerve to I belatedly, by the way, move the camera over.
You don't have to show them. I'm just so impressed that I can actually do that.
So anyway, this is from a viewer, Crystal from New York. You haven't even read this yet.
No, I saw the first sentence and I was like, ooh, looks good.
So just watched the Les Mis reunion show, sobbing. I need to see and hear this beautiful music again. I've seen Les Mis over the years, starting with this original cast, and each time I see it, I'm at a different place in my life. Now I'm 60, chronically ill, and recently my mom died in a nursing home with COVID-19. No show has touched me more than this one. Thank you and James and Seth for doing this for the Actors Fund. Broadway has done more for me in every stage of my life than anything else. The performances, the music, and the emotional connection that art gives me has sustained me as it does now through my grief. I sent in a $500 donation 2 weeks ago in honor of my late mother who introduced me to music and Broadway. I send you and all who work in the arts a virtual hug and my deep, deep appreciation. All my respect and love, Crystal from New York.
Oh, what a nice way to go into a Broadway-themed show.
Yeah, so that's what I thought too. So I know that we have some videos, but I
got to put on my Do Not Disturb.
David will send them to me, and when we go, and you can introduce. Do we have all the names here?
Yeah, I just want to make sure that I'm pronouncing it. I'm going to say it really should be. I'm going to pronounce it the way it should be, but I'm sure
no. Okay.
Well, because people always, Laura Benanti, we'll talk about it in a second. The point is, we have Jen Gambatees. Where's Jen? Hi, Jen.
Hi.
I feel like I just ran into you in a restaurant. We were talking about doing Mrs. Doubtfire. What was that?
You know where we were? We were seeing Forbidden Broadway.
Restaurant, right? Restaurant
theater. Yeah.
Then I'm sorry. I'm going to have to commit to this. It really should be Scarpacci. Is it Scarpacci?
It is Scarpacci.
And
where is she?
And Annalise?
Annalise Scarpacci.
Scarpacci.
And technically I should be Gambatesa, but I'm from Cleveland. So you said it right.
Yeah, because Laura Benanti always says, I should be Laura Benanti, but I'm from New Jersey. I don't know why people can't commit to their original Italian pronunciations. Anyway, here's Annalise Scarpacci.
Yeah, my girl.
Hi.
Hi. And here's the most...
First try.
What'd you say?
You got my name on the first try.
Well, I studied classical music. I had to learn Italian. Anyway, whatever. I don't want to talk about me right now. Anyway, the most non-ethnic last name. Please welcome Rob Smith McClure. Hi, Robbie. Oh, you're frozen again. Oh, I never know if you're frozen.
Listen, I'm here. I'm here, and Robert McClure is Scottish. It has a pronunciation.
Okay, and on that note, I'm leaving you. Bye. I controls on screen design. Okay, so where is everyone broadcasting from? Jen Gambatees, where are you?
I am in my home in Hastings-on-Hudson, up in Westchester.
Oh, pretty. I love that you have your full, I've done voiceovers in my time, microphone in front of you.
I've done voiceover auditions a lot, and a handful.
Just saying. And Annalise, where are you? In Rome?
I'm in Staten Island, so same thing.
Little 718 action. And Rob McClure, are you in your signature Philadelphianness?
I am. Can you hear me? Can you hear and see me okay?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Before we start, can I just say, for anyone watching, what you and James are doing right now is so unbelievably special. And it's also really, really hard. I know that, I don't know if people at home think, let's turn on our webcam and just, chat. The amount of organization it takes for you guys to constantly be staying ahead of 2 show days every day, recruiting all of these people to come together, figure out their Wi-Fi situation, figure out how to get them on this thing, what they're going to sing, how they're going to sing it, doing sound checks before you come on you guys have on more than a full-time job for free for charity that you've done every day. How many shows now? 60 something. 60. It is an extraordinary feat. I have done a small percentage of the things that you guys have done, and it's a huge pain in the butt to set all of this up and try and make this happen. So doing it twice a day, every day, is astounding, and the entire performing arts community owes you guys a huge debt for this. Thank you.
Rob, making me cry. That's really sweet.
Very sweet.
And it helps we have some incredible people that are with us. We definitely could not do this alone.
We have a little volunteer team, and everyone does their cog in the wheel part. So at first it was overwhelming, but now everyone sort of does something, and it's gotten much easier. Still overwhelming, but it's gotten much easier.
But you know what though? It's interesting, Rob, because it's because we've been asked that quite a bit of you can just do an 8-show week, and And what I tell them and Seth tells them is that this also really helps us, because you're making me cry, Rob, because we get to connect with amazing artists every day, twice a day. And it makes us feel like we're able to contribute something. We're not doctors. We're not nurses. We don't work in the grocery stores. We don't deliver mail. All those frontline heroes, that's not us, but this is what we can do. And thanks to incredible people that help make it happen, to you guys saying yes, for us sending you social media stuff literally probably an hour before you came on the air, all those last minute things, everyone just is, what's been wonderful is that everyone just gets it. And if okay, the lighting goes out or the sound goes out or you have to pop in, pop out, everyone has been so wonderful that it lifts us. And if we didn't do this, I'm a news junkie. I'd be watching the news all day and I would get less sleep than I get now and be more depressed and more anxious.
Yeah.
So, but I really appreciate you saying that.
It's an amazing thing. And then I think, any technical difficulty just proves to all of us how much theater is essential and we need to be in person again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Look at it.
Absolutely. So speaking of just what's going on, how are you guys doing? I mean, emotionally, physically, what are you doing to keep your spirits up and physically, how are you doing? Jen, we'll start with you.
Okay. Well, kind of just what you said, James, trying to be of service in small ways is keeping me going. So I have a 4-year-old and an almost 11-year-old in a couple weeks.
Wow.
And so I'm homeschooling or distance learning, advising
Right.
the 5th grader. And then, but the 4th grader, I started to teach her little class Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 10 to 10:30. And I do singing and storytelling because that's what I do.
Yeah.
And that I feel exactly the same way that you do. That it is a service, but it's just as much for me. Maybe more.
Right.
When you say singing, are you doing appropriate stuff or like Marie Christine?
I don't know how they would respond to Marie Christine. What I have found to be the most effective, we have a little routine now. So I pick the story I'm going to do ahead of time, and then I go Googling, and I find, so let's say, I was thinking, was I telling this to you, Rob? I think I was emailing it to Wayne Kirkpatrick, our composer. I've been working on the railroad. Is that not the best song of all time? It's got this verse and then these 3 hooks. You've got someone in the kitchen with Dinah. You got Dinah blowing her horn. Then someone's in the kitchen. Then Fee Fi Fiddly I-O. It's such a great song.
You reminded me. I used to be obsessed with that song when I was a little kid. I forgot all about it.
It's such a great song. So I was I want to teach them. I've been working on the railroad. So then I picked a book from our bookshelf that corresponded to. We did actually the Little Red Lighthouse and the Great Gray Bridge because it's got the workers in it. So I give them little movements, but then that was Monday. Then Wednesday, we changed the words. We changed the words to be the planets. So we were so my very educated mother just served us noodles and pie. That's the 9 planets in order. Now I know it.
Wait,
Mercury.
My very educated mother just served me 9 pickles.
Oh, we do noodles and pie because I'm Italian.
Yeah.
But then we get to Fee Fi Fiddly I-O and we're Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn. Just served us Uranus, Neptune. And then they're so cute when they go Pluto. And those are the 9 planets because Pluto is considered a planet again. See, I'm learning still.
Jen, you can try and teach them Uranus. That's not going to last.
Rob, you're correct. And Jen, you got to work on your scansion. You can't put a 7-syllable word in a 1-note, but it's all good.
But yeah, I know. Thank you. Thank you. How would you have broken it up? We'll do it offline.
Well,
okay, Annalise, try to top that. How are you staying healthy?
I can try to top it. My mom has me in boot camp every morning, doing Billy Blanks. So, who Billy Blanks is. We're having a good time. So, yeah, we're doing that every morning. And then I play guitar and read and talk to my friends and family. I'm lucky that my cousins live next door, so we're able to talk through the fence.
Oh, that's so
How old are you? Are you 19 or 20? How old are you?
I'm 20.
Because we have a 19-year-old, and we kind of feel like that whole generation is having a little bit of a breakdown about the social distancing. How are your friends dealing?
Yeah.
It's mixed. I mean, we're very lucky that we have FaceTime. So I've been calling my friends a lot. A lot of people who, because I would have been a junior at Pace University this year, so I have people who are in school, and everybody's taking it very differently.
Yeah.
And my best friend is a nursing student at Adelphi, and they're getting creamed with work. So it's a lot, especially when with school, everybody is giving more work because they're home.
Wow.
It's also, I feel like probably it's for everyone, but I think especially like the 18 to 25-year-old range, that it's different every day, every hour, just the emotions, because it just seems like for people your age and that age range, it's like you were just about to start. Well, I mean, obviously you were just about to do your show,
That's it.
but I mean, just whether you're just graduating from high school or college or a new job, it's something that we can't even imagine being, older.
Yeah,
So
our life just seems paused, but I think when you're about to start a new life, it's really frustrating because you were so excited to begin the new life. Whereas we're in the middle of our typical life, we're like, oh, we're just pausing for a minute.
yeah, that and the fact that for all of us, everyone says, and I think rightfully so, that we don't know what it's going to be like afterward, but what we do know is it's going to be different. And at least us growing up, we had an idea of what the world would be, and of course it changed, but we still had an idea. Now all of us are sort of like, what's it gonna be like? And we don't know. And I would think it's especially hard. So it's like, so it sounds so corny, like my hat's off to your generation, but it's true because it's a lot. And at least, like you said, at least you have FaceTime and you have other things, but it's got to be really difficult, I would think.
Yeah, the first couple of days was very, very hard because I had just moved into my first apartment and I was ready and we were starting. And then that whole day on the 12th, I mean, I don't know if the two of you could remember, I literally was sobbing the entire time.
Yeah.
And my anxiety was through the roof. And then my mom came and she said, okay, we're going to take you home. And I left. And I was with Maria, who is in our ensemble, and she's 18.
Oh.
And she's from Ohio, and she had to go home, and the thought of not seeing her every day and not being in my apartment every day with her was a lot for me to take in one day. So it was a lot. But now I'm doing much better.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't think about that, being in your first new apartment, having moved back with your parents. Oy vey. Sorry about that. McClure, how you got a baby to focus on constantly, right?
Yeah. She's amazing. I know that for what it's worth in this craziness, I know I'll look back on this time and be grateful to have spent so much time with the kiddo in like such a developmental time in her life. It sucks at what cost, but it's I know it's a weird thing right now. We're constantly trying to balance the idea of like, make the most of this time. We suddenly have time, right? And also recognizing that there's a global pandemic happening. So there are days where I feel like I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna write. I want to write that thing that I want to. I'm gonna make the most. And then the next day you're like, I think I need to just be still. I think I need to be still and recognize that I'm in my house because there's something horrible happening outside of it, and be grateful for my health and dance for Nick Cordero every day at 6 o'clock.
Yes.
For anybody who doesn't know Nick Cordero.
Yeah, talk about that.
Yeah, Nick Cordero, who is a big old Broadway star and a friend to a lot of us, is really struggling now. COVID-19 has really wiped him, and he just actually had to have his right leg amputated because he was having trouble with blood flow, and he's been out for quite a while now. And his wife, Amanda Klutz, who is on you can follow on Instagram, she is doing like daily dance parties to his music to try and wake him up. So follow his wife Amanda on Instagram, and you can help support what's going on with Nick because we're trying to wake him up, and because he's really struggling.
I just want to make sure I'm spelling this right
because he's writing it out.
I follow her, but of course I never really thought about how she spells your name.
It's Amanda Kloots. Amanda.
We'll correct it right now.
Kloots. Yeah, she's got such an amazing spirit, man. Like, I mean,
And 3 friends of hers started a GoFundMe for them because when he wakes up, I'm believing he will, his life is going to be drastically different and they're going to need some help. So 3 of the friends created a GoFundMe. I'm sure you could find it online.
Yes, posted. If you go to my Facebook, it's like posted everywhere. Everyone's been posting it.
They have a 10-month-old kiddo named Elvis, and they need him. So send as much prayers, love, dance party as you can their way. They need help.
I love that you're doing that. All right, so we have these videos that we didn't get a chance to sound check them, so we're going to just assume that they work. This looks like this is the montage. I think it's like the montage. Let's take a look.
And now, the star of Mrs. Doubtfire the Musical, Mrs. Euphigenia Doubtfire.
Oh, sorry, dear. Oh, dear. Oh, I screwed up everything, didn't I? That was expensive, wasn't it?
I'm the most obsessed with, are you wearing an actual, like, what's it called? Muffin top?
I have a whole bodysuit on. It completely changes the shape of my whole body, but a muffin top is included in that body shape.
Well, I'm really glad. As I was asking you, I got mortified because here's just a little story about me. I'm going to relate it back to me, and James knows this. When I did the Ritz on Broadway, there was a number at the end of Act 2 where I had to do magic to do, and I was in a unitard. It was supposed to be a talent show. Anyway, it was really funny. After the show, I won't say who it was, but a big Broadway star came up to me and she was like, "How did you get all those roles like around your midsection?" I was like, that's like my fat stomach. And she's like, "No, like they added it." Right? I'm like, "No, it's like my fat stomach." I was like, "It's like love handles." And then she was like, "No, because look, you're not fat at all." And she kept poking the show. I wasn't fat. What she was poking was my rib where there's no possible fat. I go, "Right, there's no fat there. That's a bone." The fat you're talking, and it was the most mortifying. So as I said the muffin top, I'm like, "Oh my God, what if Rob really has a horrible layer of fat?"
By the end of this quarantine, I might.
I know. I need Annalise's mom's boot camp.
I know. Because we do the Peloton, but I want to do this boot camp. How long is it? 45 or 60?
Well, he has like different ones. If you go on his YouTube, it's Billy Blanks. And then he has like 30-minute ones. And then he has 10-minute ones. He's amazing.
Tybo, right?
Yes. And
Yes.
I used, like when I was little, like 2 years old, my mom used to do them all the time. And I used to like, there's videos of like, me doing them with her. And now I'm like actually doing them. And they kill a lot.
I worked with his son, Billy Blanks Jr. I did Fame over in Europe with him. So, and he's very fit. So,
And Gavin Creel. Well, let's go back to that video. So that's the Mrs. Doubtfire promo. So people that are watching, they're like, "Wait, what's happening?" So Mrs. Doubtfire is a musical. It's written by the guys that wrote Something Rotten. It was in previews. You actually began performances. It's so interesting. Every Broadway show has been in a different stage. Like we just finished Tech or opening night 6, or we just opened and got great reviews. Every show's different. So you guys had begun on Broadway. You knew what the audience feedback was like, and then it got ixnayed. So by the way, what was the audience feedback like? What was it like doing it on Broadway?
It was thrilling. I mean, we had our out-of-town tryout at the Fifth Avenue in Seattle, and we broke all of their box office records. It was so exciting.
Yes, Queen.
And people were really upset, because they were so excited for the Broadway opening, and we got 3 previews in, and the audiences were astoundingly, you start to feel the momentum. There's lots of tearful people at the stage door going like, "Oh my God," they forget how moving that story is. It's funny. Everyone knows it's funny, but it's profoundly moving. And what they've done to the script and the adaptation from the movie to make it fit for now is so good. And so it was like getting the rug pulled out from under us, but we're lucky that we're one of the shows that will be back. We will be back.
Well, James, talk about what you were asking before. It's about did people know in advance?
Oh yeah. So when was your first preview? March 9th?
That's right.
yes.
So at that point, they had already stopped backstage tours. So like, did you have any sense, like when you had your first preview and you were getting that audience reaction, in the back of your mind, like, how long are we going to be able to do this?
Yes.
Yeah, I did too. I live in Westchester, so I'm not far from New Rochelle, which was like that first hot spot. And when we were in tech, my kid's school closed down for 2 days for like a deep cleaning because one of the parents was at that bar mitzvah in New Rochelle where a lot of people got sick. So I was very keyed into it. And yeah, there was a sense, I would say, when you guys at the theater of like, even in the 3 previews that we had, like that last one was not as many people as there would have been.
Oh, interesting. But like, did you think to yourselves, we're literally going to stop? Like, did you ever think we're going to actually stop production? Or did you think, oh, something weird, we're going to cut down audience size? Like, what did you think was going to happen?
It was
I was in La La Land, honestly. I'll admit it. I was not paying attention to what was happening. And my mom kept calling me. She's like, you have to wash your hands. And I'm like, I'm washing them as much as I can. And I guess that day, that's why it hit me so hard, because I never in a million years thought that this was going to happen.
Right.
So that was the last thing in my mind.
Which is where she's supposed to be, right? You're 20. You're opening like your first big role on Broadway. First big role. You're a vet. But you know, as parents and as old people, and as like I was tracking it. Do you guys remember on Valentine's Day what I gave the cast? I gave hand sanitizer to the cast.
You did.
In February. Because I was kind of just like, I don't know. I was just tracking it. I'm such a mom, you know. So my reaction was the opposite. I was relieved. I did think we were going to close down. I had no idea for, you know, how indefinite and how long it would be. But for me on March 12th, I felt like I could finally breathe again for a few days, because I brought in a suitcase and taken it to my friend's apartment because I was afraid, like, what if they stop the Metro North? What if I can't get home? You know, so when I walked in my house on that Thursday night, I was like, finally, like, okay, you know.
That was like James. He was like, what do you say?
I was just going to say, it's also weird because as theater people, we're wired for the show must go on, right? We are wired for, people need this. People need the escape. People need the collective human experience. We're going to get through this. We're going to get through. I mean, you're talking about an industry that bounced back in 48 hours from 9/11. I mean, we are wired to get back to what we do and provide that relief and comfort and joy for audiences. So it was weird to have something come up against the theater community that we needed to step back for.
It's so unprecedented. And Annalise, I can't stop thinking, you got that new apartment. Do you still have to pay the rent?
Yes, I do.
Oh, honey.
That's what we're going through. We're upstate right now. Yeah, you better botmont, Rob. You better botmont.
Yeah, I do. It's all alone. I feel bad. I miss my couch. But
I don't feel that bad for you. But I hear you about the couch. I mean, yeah, we have an apartment in New York now, and we tried to be like, can we get a rent reduction? And she was like, yeah, no.
I mean, I think they're letting me.
You're the first person since this started to say they miss their couch.
I know, it's very specific. And it doesn't really bring up a lot of emotions in me, but I hear you.
No, I understand. Well, look at this person who just commented. It's very sweet. I was at the last preview, and yes, not as crowded as I thought it would be. Wonderful and beautiful performance. Oh, that's sweet.
Rob is a man crush Monday.
Well, there you go.
Rob is everybody's Broadway crush. Everybody's.
Lies.
Why only on Mondays are you allowed to have same sex? All right.
Alliteration. Women have it on Wednesday.
Get back to me.
I think we have
we have another clip.
Is this a clip of rehearsal stuff? I think
we have a shot of him getting.
Does that sound right?
I think it's the thing I put together on the first day. On the first day, I wore the full prosthetics, and we showed it. We showed it to the cast. We didn't tell them, and we just like invited people into the other rehearsal studio. And this is their reaction to seeing the old.
And to clarify, you have an added muffin top. Make sure. Okay, here we go.
Oh my goodness.
my god! Wait, like you have like you got no jawline. I know. She's got like. Oh wow.
Okay,
I love that.
they're called jowls, and we all have them at this age. You've got. I have no idea because my face is so beautiful. You've got. I can't.
It is hard, Seth, to be next to her.
Believe me. Rob, did you have a video camera implanted in your face? Because how did you get all those weird shots?
That was actually the one of the assistant makeup designer who was standing beside me filming. It was just fun, and it was just something for us because we thought it was gonna be fun and cute. And then I realized they had this really cool footage, and they did such a good job of building momentum for the audience to finally see what she was gonna look like. That I thought that would be a fun little. I did that on iMovie on my phone just the night before they were gonna release that actual Entertainment Weekly photo.
Oh wow.
So it's all about building. But what's so funny is all these people were like, "You guys waited so long, and it was so great to tease what she was gonna look like." It was also simultaneously us figuring it out.
Exactly.
Like we didn't want to release it until it was perfect. So all of the press of not showing my face was to A, build momentum, and B, because we hadn't quite mastered it yet. So we had to wait until it was perfect.
Is it hard to sing and talk in it?
A little bit. It's really, they've done an amazing job though. When I went into the place to get the process you just saw, I walked in and they were like, "Oh, hang on, we just have to clear off this table," and they were building the penguin prosthetics for Colin Farrell in the new Batman movie, and I was like, "Oh, I'm in the right place." So they did it, and as I sat down in the chair, behind me on the wall was the life cast of Robin Williams that they had done, because that company did his Teddy Roosevelt prosthetics for the Night at the Museum movies. But I thought it was just such a lovely sign that he was above me. It was.
But is it the kind of thing where like we're gonna put a straw in your nose to breathe? Like I don't think I'd be able to do it. I think I'd have a panic attack.
I didn't, but I understand how people could. Absolutely. There's a moment where it's hardening and you've been in there for 35 minutes.
Wow.
And and for me it was like eyes open, in a smile.
I can't even do I can't even do a facial where they put the facial on and it makes it a little tight. It freaks me out. So I won't be replacing you.
I was about to say that.
No one asked you to. All right. So Anna, I know you guys have all prepared to see.
Yeah, I just kept on thinking it's gonna be worth it.
Well, no one's interested in me. Annalise, what are you gonna haul out for us?
I have a little bit of what the hell. I have a special guest.
The beanie! That's her angsty teen beanie.
I can't sing the song without wearing a beanie. I have to do it. And because I usually sing the song with my siblings, Jake, Ryan, Flynn, and Avery Sell, and I know you're both watching. I love you both. But yeah, so we have some help, and I have my beanie. So here's what the hell. Can't you see what's happening here? Mom has made Dad disappear and found someone that she thinks can replace him. And like it or not, we're gonna share the house with a creepy old lady in a hideous blouse who's gonna move in and slowly she'll erase him. Well, this was not supposed to happen. This is just a bunch of crap, and no one asked if I would go along. All at once, the adults are spoken. Now I'm a kid in a home that's broken, 'cause they can't fix all that they did wrong. So this is my life. Isn't this just great? Isn't this just swell? What the hell? Yeah? Well, the grown-ups aren't supposed to act like children. So the way I see it, all bets are off. Maybe it's me, maybe I'm to blame. If I hadn't had a party, if my grades weren't lame, if it weren't for me, would they still be together? No, it's all them. They're the issue, her and him. And don't it piss you off? I think that we should all rebel. If this is our life, doesn't it make you want to scream and yell? What the hell? Yeah! Oh, what the hell? Right? Oh, what the hell? 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 See what's different here on the wall? All the pictures with Dad.
She replaced them all.
It's just us and her, not 5 but 4. Does it mean we're not a family anymore? This was not supposed to happen. This is just a bunch of crap, and I don't think that this is fair at all. There's no way Mom is seeing this through and letting some woman who smells like stew come in here and tell us what to do. She knows it won't end well. What the hell?
Yay.
Well, I agree with this. Rob looks so proud.
Mhm.
Second of all, I love the hideous blouse reference, but you're wearing prosthetics. How do you also add the stench of stew? That's my question.
It's from Daniel trying to make them dinner and it not going well.
Okay. Just don't know why it has to get on your body. We'll talk about that privately.
Yeah.
I love that the kids sang with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I miss them so much. I really is like,
I miss them. Oh
you know,
my God.
every show like takes on the cult. They adopt the culture of the show they're in. You know how like, you know, a college will do hair for 2 weeks and at the end of it they're like, I'm a freer love person. Calm down. But like our show, the culture of our show is family, and I think we so take it on. And I miss you guys, like my family, like my kids, man, like you and Jake and Avery. And Jen, I miss you guys so much. You sound amazing. I'm mad at you for like being able to sing like that out of nowhere.
Oh, you can tell her voice is natural good placement, and it's annoying. And, you know, it's like Irish is born with perfect. Then Gambitese, what are you hauling out for us? Is it I've been working on the Uranus?
It's not. But I'm glad you did the newer spelling, which I went down a rabbit hole. It was like in the 80s because we know why they went that way.
Yeah.
All right. So my song is called Let Go. And I have the task of being sort of I won't call myself the villain in the show, but I am, you know, the opposite to our hero. So I'm the anti-hero.
Let's just say if you've seen Sound of Music, the character is the Baroness. Continue.
Oh, okay, yeah. There's that ish vibe. But anyways, this song's called "Let Go," and I'm singing it to Mrs. Doubtfire because she's asking me if Daniel was really that bad, and he really wasn't that bad. He wasn't. He was great in a lot of ways. So I'm gonna take this out. And here we go. It starts soon. Once we went together so well, same beat of a heart. Somewhere we just started to drift apart. Used to, we could talk through the night, but that all went away. Somehow we just ran out of things to say. Tired of the tears, but chained to the fears of being on my own. The days turned to years together, but alone. Sometimes love tries to conquer all the pain, but even so, sometimes love can't win, no matter how you fight, somehow you know. And it's harder to hold on than to let go. So you just let go. Felt like I was starting to break, no room left to bend. I knew that I no longer could pretend. Could I really just walk away, or should I persevere? I knew if I did, I would disappear. But still I stayed for the vow we made, and I tried to soldier on. I did what I did for the sake of the kids, hoping love would prevail and that I wouldn't fail. But sometimes love tries to conquer all the pain, but even so, sometimes love can't win, no matter how you fight, somehow you know. And it's harder to hold on than to let go. So you just let go. I just let go. Thanks, friends.
I love you. I miss you.
I love you too.
So, Rob, you're on stage during that number normally?
I'm looking into her eyes for most of it as Mrs. Doubtfire, which is like best seat in the house.
It's so nice you guys have this little way to reconnect again.
Yes, and before you have me sing, I have to feed this cat or else he's gonna meow through the entire
Baby.
Oh, sweetie pie.
Okay, so then, I can do I can start my test.
Yeah.
So, I always do this thing where I say, you memorize shows and then time goes by and suddenly your brain goes, I don't need to have this memorized anymore. And I'm sort of curious when that is. So, Annalise, who did you play in Les Mis?
Les Mis? I didn't do Les Mis.
I literally
I
got
was at a Wagner production, a high school production of Les Mis.
Yeah, you did Les Mis.
When I was in 6th grade.
Exactly. Who did you play?
Oh, I was Little Cassette.
I love your denial. I never did it. I just did it.
It was not professional, right?
Exactly. It wasn't Broadway, so yeah.
She wasn't paid. She wasn't paid.
Exactly.
Ooh.
There's a castle on a cloud. I'd like to go there in my sleep. Aren't any floors for me to sweep? Not in my castle on a cloud. There is a room that's full of there are 100 boys and girls. Nobody shouts or talks too loud. Not in my castle on a cloud.
Okay, the only reason why this is easy for you is because you're basically 11-year-old right now. So it was just 2 years ago. Those of us that are our age, Do you remember a show from when we were in 6th grade? It was a long time ago. You're remembering like 10 minutes ago, so I'm not impressed.
I'm impressed. Oy. And I'm gonna fail.
I
You
also
passed.
love, no, I've never done that show.
Thank you, Rob.
I never was able to hit that last note because I was so small, and when I was younger, I couldn't hit low notes, and I just be like, oh.
That's my favorite. Wait, that is my favorite. Like when I teach, I have so many students who will want to sing a song, and they go like this: "The Wizard and," and it's always just like air. There's no.
That was me all the time, and still sometimes.
But by the way, Annalise, you remember full lyrics and full blocking.
I
That
know.
was impressive.
Yeah.
I'm going to move on. Now look who's here, the little Madam Herself, pretending once again she's been so awfully good. Oh, good.
I was obsessed with that part. But not hear me. I was obsessed with that.
Me too.
Frank, what is
That
it?
10th anniversary concert, that cast.
Wait, I had Evelyn Barron when we did it on Broadway. 10 Rotten Franks from other
Better let me catch you slacking, better not catch my arm.
So good. What is that gonna buy?
That's
Yes. What's that gonna buy? Now take that bell, my little. What the hell?
This is probably giving the letter writer Crystal
I
like
know, I
her best life.
Yes, Rob. All right, so Jen,
Oh God, I'm gonna fail.
Okay.
Maybe.
There we go.
I'll give you the very beginning. This is the show you start in.
One night with you is all that I'm praying for. I never remember words.
Come on.
No, I don't know. Listen, when it's done, it's done.
No, it's
One
not.
night with you is all that I'm praying for.
The
Yeah.
things. The things.
The things that we two could share, plan,
Would make my
dreams come true.
B minus, if that.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's a full D.
Okay, thank you.
That's no. Listen, I'm real about it. I used to kind of remember things, and then I had kids, and
Yeah, they drag all the folders to the trash.
yeah,
That was from All Shook Up. People don't remember. Rob.
Uh-oh.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, no. Here, go ahead, stop.
Act 1 places, please. Your calls, Miss Hartley, Miss Ashton, Miss Lejeune, Mr. Fellows, Miss Blair. Act 1 places, please.
Oh, oh, God. Are you doing noises off?
Yes, love.
Oh, God. Act on places. The play will begin. Wait, at any moment. That line is that what we're
And
doing?
maybe Act 1 places is what we'll get. What do you think?
Oh my God! You're doing text. There's not even a melody.
That's correct. You had it memorized at one point.
Yeah. Well, maybe Act 1 places is what we'll get. What was it?
Yes.
I don't remember.
Oh, Donnie will pull stuff together. Now we've called places. Now she knows she's got to be on stage in 5 minutes. Won't she?
Will she?
Very good.
Is that right?
You know what Dottie's like. We've only been on the road.
Oh, we've only been on the road for what was it? 2 weeks.
Keep going.
And already she's locked the door and is yelling at people. What was it? It was Andrea Martin locked in her dressing room. I remember that.
If only she'd speak.
If only she'd speak. Will she? Won't she? What was it?
Now you're doing both roles. I'm gonna have to give you, I think, a Jen Gambati score.
No, listen. That
he didn't have melody.
Well, being expected to just do text from a play, that's cruel. But I will say, getting to do that cast with that, getting to do that show with that cast was, I should remember every line because it was dreams come true. Oh my God.
And you were hilarious.
Me and Tracy Chimo did that scene.
Yeah, it was very good when I saw it originally, not today. All right, in conclusion, gotta be honest. So, Robbie, what are you gonna haul out for us? There better be a Muffin Top involved.
It is it's a song that Daniel sings in court when he's losing custody of his kids, called "I Want to Be There." And today, as I was just like home reviewing the lyrics, because clearly I need to, I was struck by how much these lyrics apply in more ways than I want them to at the moment. I love you guys. This is
I love you.
Annalise, Jake, and Avery, my stage kiddos. Lydia's young still, but she's old enough to start going down all the pathways of love. Some will be easy, but some will be tough. Times she'll be swimming in oceans of anguish. At times she'll be dancing on air. Through all of her highs and her lows, I want to be there. Natalie's something, a beautiful child. A head full of wonder, a heart full of wild. And man, she can light up a room with her smile. How could I go through a day and not see that? In what world would that ever be fair? All I know is any world she inhabits, I want to be there. So tell me, what should I do here? Tell me, what should I not? 'Cause I'll do whatever it takes to hold on. They're all that I am. They're all that I've got. Chris is a pistol. Barrels of fun. The bond that we're forming has only begun. He needs his father, and I need my son. Don't take away all my reasons for living. It's more than I think I could bear. So look beyond any misgiving. You'll see there's a father who cares, trying to make it all last. They grow up so fast. And I need to, I've got to, I wanna be there. Please, let me be there. I miss you guys.
Love you.
Well, here's the nice, I just got a text. What a pleasure to watch my poppets from Jerry Zaks.
Oh,
Now I'll really cry.
no. I miss that guy so much. I really do. We're doing all the songs with like the gigantic bleeding hearts, but I promise you the show is so funny.
They're just, those numbers are hard to do here.
You know what is I think they represent what makes that story sing. And that's I think for any good adaptation, people are like, why adapt Mrs. Doubtfire? That's why, because underneath that farce is a family drama, and it really does, it sings beautifully. And I think those are examples of like what the writers have tapped into that really warrants song from that story.
Yeah, without heart, it just becomes like a Saturday Night Live sketch. You have to have heart.
That's it. It's got a reason to sing.
So I'm going to be one of those people that's like, so when are you guys coming back? Anyway, I can't say people ask me, like, there's no way to know. Just don't worry about it. It'll happen one day and bug off. It'll be fine. Although I agree with this comment. Where is it? I need a cast recording ASAP.
Oh. Maybe if the technician is like in the booth and we record one at a time on the other side of the glass, we can go in and record it.
That would be interesting.
But I would be like, I'm so excited to come back because I feel like theater is going to be more important than ever. And when I think about the energy when Broadway curtains rise again, it is going to be the most exciting. I just to have that to look forward to gets me through every single day because I know it's going to happen. It is going to happen. That we will be back. And when we will, people will be more reminded than ever as to why they need it and why it's important. And I'm thrilled that it's this show because it's a hug. It's a gigantic hug, a really funny hug.
Well, guys, if you want theater to last, it would be nice if everyone watching donated a little something to Stars in the House, because it's helping all the arts. And Rob, you have a question. How do you make your voice sound like a woman?
You know what's so funny is I didn't. My grandmother on my dad's side. My dad is McClure is a Scottish name. My grandmother on my dad's side had a brogue. She was Scottish and actually had a little brogue. So I started with the actual like Scottish accent and less about like, I'm gonna have a falsetto like a lady. I think that's less interesting. And if she's an elderly woman, it wouldn't be pitched quite so high.
Right.
So for me, it was more about less talking like, silly, and more like the warmth of the brogue. It's just a little. It's just a wee bit of that warmth. I think warmth is more important than gender. So I think the warmth and the ethnicity and the warmth, I think, are really the main ingredients to it. And we all hear Robin Williams in our head, right? Don't we? Like, I feel like it's important to let the audience know that I'm as big a fan of that sound as they are, and that I'm going to take care of it.
I should do like a show with Broadway actors that have based things on their grandmothers, because Audra said she couldn't figure out how to do Lady Day until she realized that her grandmother was always like, Audra, you better come in here for lunch. And when she was like, oh, my God, my grandmother's voice. It's interesting. I should do like a four square.
Yeah, it's like was it somewhere in our DNA, and we just have to unlock it.
Yeah, I should also do a dedicated to Muffin Top show with you, me, and a couple
Oh, when you were telling that story, Seth, it made me think of Reefer Madness. We all had to wear flesh-colored unitards.
I remember that moment.
Flesh-colored.
For everybody on that stage, I was like, that's really revealing.
And I was like not that far from Annalise's age, and it was still not a fun moment. And then there were like cannabis leaves.
And then when I turned around, it was very like
flesh-colored unitards.
The show is no longer running. Okay, what else? Oh.
Jen and Rob, thank you so much for joining us today.
Yes.
This has been a delightful afternoon, and touching and funny and warm, and I'm so happy all of you came.
Yeah, it's so great. So Mrs. Doubtfire is coming back. We can't get it. We can't, you can look online. You can find like fun. There's an Instagram for Mrs. Doubtfire, right? You can look.
Yeah.
Doubtfire Broadway.
And tonight we have the TV cast of Difficult People. So a lot of hilarious people.
Yeah.
And then tomorrow afternoon, speaking of reunions, we have the cast of Urinetown coming in. With
Oh.
Nancy Opal and all those
Wait a
clowns.
minute, in the same theater.
Yes.
Yeah, before it was renovated.
Right.
Nancy Opal. This is an infuriating story that you can ask her about. We did Honeymoon in Vegas together, and she sings an unbelievable song called Never Get Married, where she like blows the roof off the place. Yes, just mask for days. And you can ask her about this. Jason Robert Brown, he had the recording studio. We were recording the cast album, and they started at 8:30 in the morning. And Jason Robert Brown was like, well, who is gonna, no one can. Nancy Opal. Nancy Opal rolled out of bed at 8:37, walked down the and what you hear on the album is at like 8:50 in the morning. I'm so mad at Nancy Opal.
That is so funny.
She is a beast. She is a beast. And I used to go to it was then the Henry Miller Theater when she was doing Urinetown, because I babysat Jillian back in the day.
Oh,
her
wow.
beautiful model daughter. I was her babysitter for a period.
We're all connected. New York telephone. Anybody grew up in the 80s?
All right, so you want to play us out for the closing credits?
Yes.
What do you think? What are you going to play?
I guess I'll do.
Pressure's on.
Miss you guys.
This is for Annalise.
I love you, Annalise.
Perfection.
President CNO, Joan Benesca, Chairman of the Board, Ryan Stokes, Director, Community. No. All right, yes, Brian Dratch, co-founder Tom Greenwald, featuring Seth Ramsey, Dr. John LaPook,
Paul Castry.
Yes, Paul.
James Bergman, Steven Spadaro, and the contributed to Time Talent in the house.